Good afternoon, good morning, good after whichever one I missed out. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to people on X as well. I hope everyone's doing well. This is Arsenal news for the 27th of July. As I did promise two a week. There will be two next week as well, up until the season starts. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well. We'll get into it very shortly. Just want to get into the comments. Just comments are already in. Big up to Nick. Hope you're doing well, geeks. Hey, everyone, support a fellow Gooner and hit the like and subscribe for an excellent channel dedicated to Arsenal. Thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate the love. And yes, he is part of our group WhatsApp. So if anyone wants to join that, especially people listening in on X at the moment, drop us a message on X and we'll try and add you to the group WhatsApp so you can get involved. And everything like that. Big up to Trust Sue. Marino will be a good signing. We'll get on to him, but yes, I totally agree. He will be definitely a good signing. Big up to Temi saying, what's the intro song? I'm guessing you mean for the countdown. If you mean for the countdown, I'll find out and I'll let you know. But yes. Hello, Bobby. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Temi. 50 million euros for Sanogo is a bit delusional. We won't get that, mate. we won't get that. I expect us to get around 30. That's what I kind of expect. Big up to Temi saying loves the intro, always loves the intro. Big up, mate. Hope you're well. Yes, I am donning the Lynx Africa today. I am not sponsored by Lynx Africa. I promise. The countdown. Yeah, Temi, I'll find out. I'll write it down for you, and I will tell you next time I'm on. It's one of the ones that I have, so I know I can find it. So I'll let you know the name. It's one of the songs I actually quite like. It's actually a full track, which I've got, which I do use for other stuff as well, and I do personally like it. Personally, it's a very good song. I use it for the new signings as well. I use the song for the new signings videos. So yeah, it's very good. Big up to Elliot Roberts. Nice new kit. Mine on the way soon. Big up to you, Elliot. Yeah, I actually personally like it. Partner can't stand it. She thinks it's too much going on. I actually like it. I love black kits, though, to be fair. Will you be watching tonight? If not, live. But no, I'll be watching it in the morning, mate. There's no way I'm staying up. No. I need my sleep, mate. But no, I'll watch it in the morning. Look, to be fair, I was about to say, there's not much excitement with these friendlies, but to be fair, if you see all the fighting that's been happening in these friendlies, they're not so friendly at the moment, which I kind of like. I love the new kit, mate, Chris. I absolutely love it. I actually love the pre-game one, which Emma again can't stand. I actually love it. I don't know why. I just love it. Elliot loves it. Just pick up to Elliot. I watch highlights of Liverpool. No way I was staying up. Yeah, exactly. I'll watch it in the morning. I'm fine. You know, it's different if it actually meant something. Like if we're going to get knocked out the cup, or we're going to win a cup, or something like that. I'd watch it. But it's literally friendly. I'll watch it in the morning. I'll watch it after some breakfast. So it's all good for me. I have no issues with someone say merch. Yeah, obviously we've got the third kits out. Not the third kit, the away kit. The third kit is meant to be being dropped soon. I don't like that one. I'll be honest. I don't like the third kit. I don't know why, but I just don't like that one. I don't know what it is. If I think of the reason I don't like it, I'll let everyone know. But I can't think of it right now. I just look at it and I go, don't like it. But no, the pre-match I have as well, which I personally do like, and I always try and get a training kit or two as well because I love training kits. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the actual news. So the first one we're going to talk about is Marino. Now, obviously, people need to listen to this because I know a lot of people get very upset and very stressed out over the way that we do things at Arsenal. Now, we do what I call shotgun negotiations at the beginning of the window. So we work out our plan. So that's multiple targets, all spoken to, who's willing to join us, who's not willing to join us, how much is he going to cost, blah, 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 blah. Plan is then drawn up. Then we approach one at a time. Now, I wouldn't say that the most important are at the beginning because they're not. So, but we'll do one at a time until they literally come in the door. So, obviously, Calafiore, have his medical today. That will be announced. I don't know, Arsenal PR team. I'm going to guess next 48 hours, maybe 72. We know what the soft team are like. So yeah, Calafiori, and then we'll move on to the next one, as in the finalisation of the actual deal. For me, Marino's done, pretty much done. Apart from officially like having the medical set up and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's done. So I have no issues with the Marino deal. I think it will be done very, very soon as well. So yeah, I expect that to start happening this week, because Real Sociedad are already looking for a replacement in is it the young Valencia midfielder Guerrero or whatever his name is. So they're already looking for a replacement, which that tells you a lot. That with a midfield of Moreno and Zubimendi, you wouldn't be looking for a replacement unless someone's leaving. So, and Zubimendi, I just don't see him ever leaving Spain, if I'm honest. Not now, anyway. So, yeah. Marino, developments will happen this week, I believe. Once Calafiori has been announced and official, blah, 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 wearing the shirt, I'm more intrigued about what number he's wearing, to be honest. What number Calafiori wearing? It might upset Luke, though. I'm not sure about that, because I've heard he's wearing 33. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, we'll wait and see. Hopefully, he's just wearing a normal number, which would be nice. But we'll wait and see. But yes, there will be developments this week for him. So yeah, watch out for that one. Bentley, the goalkeeper from Wolves. This is another one that I think is more or less done. Now, the reason that I looked into this, the reason why we need to do this one, not only does Cole Hine need a loan, a lot of people were convinced by him against Bournemouth. I honestly don't think he's good enough anyway. I just don't think he'll make it at all at Arsenal. But also, we lost Hilson, who was on the 25-man squad list. So that is another homegrown player we've lost. So we would have to replace him. Now, he was a third choice. Obviously, Hilson we never got to see, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, Bentley will replace the number 3, which is Hilson. So, again, homegrown. So it covers that issue. We still have a bit of a homegrown issue when we sell Nelson, Smith Rowe, Nketiah, and Ramsdale. We'll still have a homegrown issue by one, which I'm sure we'll sort out. So I'm not alarmed, but the Bentley one makes total sense. One, he gives us experience because he is a good experience, and Naki knows him extremely well. He was the one that got him at Brentford in the first place. So obviously he's at Wolves now, but he was at Brentford just before that. When Anarchy was there. So yeah, it makes total sense. It's going to be less than £1 million, which I hate saying it because I'm pretty sure all of us watching right now would love £1 million. But it's nothing in football terms, really. Not when people are spending out 40-50 million pounds on players. 1 million is nothing. And I don't think you'll even get that high. I think it'll be around 600,000-700,000, if that. Blah blah. I do love my blah 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 blah. I know people understand what I'm on about, but yes, Bentley again. So for Marino, Bentley will the two next signings, but I couldn't guarantee you which one will come through first. I'll be honest. I'm going to slightly guess Bentley will be a slightly easier one to do, because I'm pretty sure we'll just pay the money, one lump sum, job done. See you later. Right, you're ours. Marino, as far as I'm aware, we're meant to be paying the majority of the transfer fee in one lump sum, which obviously a lot better for Real Sociedad and a lot more tempting for him as well. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, we're paying a large amount up front for him, which actually comes from someone that we're selling, which is quite fun. But yeah, so that's Bentley. Let's move on to the Fabian Ruiz talk explained. Right. So the Fabian Ruiz talk is real. We've been scouting him for quite a while, to be fair. There is a possibility. Now, I have said this in our group WhatsApp that only 2 of 3 midfielders will leave PSG. Now, Renato Sanchez is going in the Neves deal for Benfica. So that's one. The other 2 are Ugarte and Fabian Ruiz. Now, Fabian Ruiz would be a loan with an obligation to buy. It wouldn't. I don't believe it's going to be a full transfer straight away. I do believe it will be a loan with an obligation, which suits us more than it probably suits PSG, if I'm honest. But it does kind of suggest that someone has to leave other than Smith Rowe. I think it's going to be Thomas Partey, which will upset a few people, I'm sure. But I think Thomas Partey will leave for Fabian Ruiz to come in. The reason I think that is because like Jorginho, Thomas Partey, and Fabian Ruiz, there'll be 3 DMs because Fabian Ruiz is basically a DM and a left-sided centre midfielder as well, but he can do DM very well as well because he does drop. If anyone's maybe seen, he does drop into the left back role quite a lot as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one for Fabian Ruiz, but it's one to keep an eye out for because it could possibly happen. I've not said this is close at all, and I don't think it is anywhere near that yet. Right, let's have a look. One, gents, big up yourselves. Someone stole my line. Big up to Elliot. The fans I've blocked are now raving about how we played and slot complete hypocrites. Oh, I love it. Gyökeres next. If you're talking about Marino and Bentley, I think it will be winger next, possibly striker. It depends who goes out first. Like I've said, we've got to sell someone, not for money, just to make sure the squad is being trimmed before someone comes in. So, yeah, I think Eddie, we'll get onto Eddie in a minute, but I think Eddie is the most likely to leave soon than Nelson is. Nelson, again, that's another talking point that's going to come up in the show. I just want a proper striker for Odegaard. As long as he doesn't wear number 10, I've still got it does my head in. A defender wearing a number 10, it doesn't fit right. I have no issues with like 33, 36, all these ones. It's the 11. Like if someone said, "Oh, I'm a striker, what number do you want?" Number 1, I'll be going, "I'm not signing you, mate." Go to another club. I don't care who it was either. If it was Messi, I'd be like, "No, you're not wearing a number 1 shirt." No, not happening. See you later. Jog on. Bentley used to play for Southampton. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's an incredible journey he's been on. He's an Arsenal fan as well, which I really do hope he gets there as well. I love my blah blah, mate. Ugarte more likely to leave. It is quite close between the 2. And what I have said is I don't rule out all 3 going, but Paris Saint-Germain, from what I've been told, is literally 2 out of 3. Because if not, PSG are going to have to replace that person, which obviously they're working on the Neves deal, but they can quite easily go and get another midfielder, but I don't know who they're looking at. I know they're trying to get Desiree Doué from Rennes, I think, at the moment, but he's more of an attacking midfielder. But yeah, it's mad. Hello, good afternoon. Big up to BX. Hope you're doing well. Ruiz for Partey, can't lie, has been torn. Yeah, I know. Look, I'm one, and I know Luke is, and I know there's a few others as well that are quite happy for TP to go now. Look, at the end of the day, right now, he's definitely leaving next summer anyway. So I'd rather take some money now whilst we've got the chance. Because even if we leave it till January, we're going to get less money in January. I need him gone. 2 28-year-olds coming in that fill the gap for like at least 2 seasons. I'm happy with that. I really am, because to be honest, the majority of the rest of the pit squad is pretty much secure for at least 4 to 5 years. So I'm quite chill about it, to be honest. I'm quite happy for TP to go. I won't have a party, but literally won't have a party. But yeah, exactly, party out. Ruiz is in all day for Luke. Partey won't be fit to play anyway, so why not just put it now? Timmy, I love how you don't hold back. So far he hasn't got injured quite friendly. But yes, there is that obviously big risk that he could get injured. But yeah. Big up to Arteta's cousin. Big up to you. Zinny isn't leaving. I don't rule this one out. I have got to talk about this in a minute. I don't rule this one out only because currently Bayern Munich are still interested in him. They're making movements at the moment. So it's one to watch. I believe Newcastle are interested in him as well. I don't understand why personally, if I'm honest. But yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute, though. I promise. He would thrive more if he plays left centre midfield. Yeah, but that's just not happening. We're getting someone that plays there properly. There's no space for Zinny, and Zinny's not going to be that type of player that is going to be happy not playing. He deserves to play. You know, he's not a bad player. I just don't like him in this squad the way that we play, if I'm honest. Why can't Vieira leave instead? Okay, since the gaffer fails to use him in his preferred position rather than Partey leaving. I hear this one a lot as well. Vieira, Fabio Vieira. I don't like saying Vieira because it feels wrong. Fabio Vieira will be getting more chances next season. That has been guaranteed. I don't know how he's fitting him in. That bit I don't understand how he's fitting him in because he technically is Odegaard. Technically, just a better finisher in my opinion. Sorry, people, but I think Fabio Vieira is a better finisher than Odegaard. So I don't know how it's going to work, but from what I've heard, Fabio will be used more next season. I don't know how yet, but we'll wait and see. Obviously, I'm not Arteta, so I can't tell you exactly how he's using him. Ruiz frees up that left side of our attack. Mate, I honestly, I would love him. I would love both. And I've always said this, it's not Marino or Fabio Ruiz. It's both of them. So it's never a case of one or the other. It's both. If we can get both, we will get both. I just think the way Sal fouled. Yeah, I do get that. But to be honest, I think everyone fouls at Chelsea. I think Messi would foul at Chelsea, if I'm honest. It's like they've got some kind of kryptonite on the front gates of Chelsea or something. And you go through and you just wiped for all your football skills. I don't know what it is, but they become different players once they join Chelsea. Temi and Pite was like Naby Keita. Yeah, Naby Keita is, yeah. It was a shame, to be honest, because I do rate the player. Because obviously I watch a lot of Bundesliga, and I did actually think he was a very good player. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. Zinni should be moved to midfield. He's a top player there, says Temi. I get it. I hear you. He might be Odegaard backup. Oh, yeah, but I don't think even Fabio will be happy with that. Fabio is a very extremely talented young man. We can't sell Kivio Zinni in the same window. We can when we're not ruling out another defensive player yet. That's the reason why. There is still mentions of left backs. We were obviously linked with Kadioglu, Balde as well, the young lad from Barcelona, I think. But yeah, it's interesting. It really is. Vieira should only play as a 10, too lightweight for CM, says Temi. I was happy with our performance last night in the pre-season Szoboszlai in that attacking midfield, but who knew he would play well? Our youngsters like Nahoni and Morton, etc. Vandenberg was solid. Well, that's good. I'm glad Vandenberg was solid because I did like him actually. But yeah, who knew Szoboszlai is a good attacking midfielder? I don't know. Maybe everyone that wanted him there saw him there in the Bundesliga. Agreed, both Ruiz and Marino, we are good. Shame about Eze, though. I'm not going to talk too much about Eze. I've not really mentioned him too much in this window. He will be leaving Crystal Palace, as far as I'm fully aware. He's leaving. But as far as I'm aware, he's waiting for Man City. That's what I've been told. So we'll wait and see. If we are getting Marino and Fabio Ruiz, then the need for Vieira is limited. I would never be confident trusting Fabio Vieira to replace Vieira when needed. Well, Fabio Vieira is obviously an attacking midfielder. Fabian Ruiz is more of a defensive-minded midfielder and a left-sided midfielder, so it doesn't really clash with what Fabio would be doing. And again, Marino is a left-sided midfielder, can kind of do that DM role as well. So again, doesn't really affect Fabio Vieira playing time. What it does affect is obviously either going to be Thomas Partey or Jorginho, and I've always said Jorginho will be leaving next summer no matter what. And Thomas Partey, I believe, will leave this window if we can get the right amount of money. If not, he'll be going next summer too. So yeah, there's a lot happening. Endo struggled, and Slot definitely wants a DM to be better than him. Yeah, I never understood the signing, mate. I'll be honest. Sorry, I obviously watched a lot of Bundesliga, and Endo made no sense whatsoever for Liverpool. Rice, Jorginho, Ruiz, Mourinho, Odegaard, Fabio, or Nwaneri would be excellent options. There you go, Luke. Spot on. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is kind of midfield that you want and you kind of trust going into a season. And obviously Nwaneri, who can actually do multiple roles as well. Like he can do the 10 role, he can do the right role, and he can do the left role, as in the wings. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see. Baxon, big up to Baxon. Szoboszlai coming back to form. Ruiz and Marino would be fantastic. Be it 100%, mate. I'll get onto that shortly with Ramsdale. There is a slide for Ramsdale, so I will get onto that Baxon. I wonder if Nwaneri will get more minutes next season. He will do. We are trusting him. So you're saying we're in for Ruiz? Yes, we are in for him. I don't know how close that will ever get. Is a different question. But we have scouted him. We are interested in him, and we'll see what happens. So I don't rule him out, but I don't rule him in yet. Who I do rule in at the moment is Mourinho and Bentley. Those two I do rule in. I love Slot adaptability already. He was playing 4-4-2 because he had no strikers and didn't want to play it, but suited us in the game. Big up to Amago. What is Arteta's plan to incorporate academy players in the team? Right. Sorry, I needed to speak. Right. So Nwaneri will be the biggest player next season. He will get, I can't guarantee you how many games, but he's going to be a big part of our squad next season. Lewis Skelly, the actual plan, the next 2 summers transfer windows are being formed, so there are some paths opening up for academy players in the future. Now, obviously, we've signed some new ones this summer. We'll sign a few more as well, and they will be with the idea within 4 years they will be playing more and more of a role in the first team. So I'm not. I promise I'm not. I actually can't remember what this is actually. Cherry and something. It's quite nice actually. This one. That's now our defence is sorted. Our major and important transfer should be a striker and deadline push for Osimhen, Ivan Toney, or Gyökeres. I would definitely say it's less than a 1% for Ivan Toney. I can't rule out Osimhen and I can't rule out Gyökeres. I just can't rule them out. There's just not enough information for me to go, yeah, that ain't happening. Right now, we're trying to focus in on midfield. Then it all depends on who leaves next. So it's between Nketiah and Nelson. If Nketiah leaves, I do expect us to start making movements for the forward. If it's Nelson, then it will be movements for the winger. Once Partey and Jorginho leave, one place will be for Nwaneri. Nwaneri is actually quite a fascinating player because he can actually do more than just a 10 role. He can play on the right and play on the left very easily. He's very talented. So he will get quite a lot more game time than I think we expect. I think he'll get 10, 15 minutes here in some games that we're comfortable in. I think he'll start in maybe like the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, maybe a Champions League game if it's not an important one. He will get a lot more than I think we'll expect eventually. Osimhen is going to PSG, says Temi. I don't know. Honestly, I had a chat with a couple of people earlier about Osimhen, and I'll be honest, he's got to leave Napoli. Like, Napoli have literally replaced him. And obviously there's the promise and all that kind of stuff. So he will be leaving. I just honestly don't know where he's going. I really don't know. It's the one transfer. I have no idea what's going to happen with him. I'll be honest. I have no idea. It's going to be interesting one. I'll be honest. I know we are definitely in for DM and another forward. Probably sign another centre back. I hope Vandenberg stays. Good competition between him and Kwanzaa. Yeah, DM you're definitely after. You are after another frontline person. I'll say that in the loosest way I possibly can. You are after another frontline person. But yeah, it's. You'll have a decent window. I wouldn't say you have a best one, but yeah, you'll have a good window. Arteta is like De Niro from Meet the Parents. He has the circle of trust, and I think when there he is hitching himself into it. Now, obviously, I'm giggling because I actually know the military. But yeah, he does have a circle of trust, and he does have a trust issue, and that has been kindly told to him that he needs to trust a few more, and he will. He will, as you can see even in the friendly now, he's seeing them up front personal now. So hopefully some of them convince him that that they aren't that bad. This is why we've lost a few, because that trust issue was just not there, and it was like he ain't never going to trust me. He's never going to play me. So let's move on. I just want to quickly say thank you to the over 400 people currently watching. Thank you ever so much. Really appreciate it. As regards our wingers, a big season awaits. Martinelli, Trossard and Jesus can resume back at City's role and deputise Saka when needed. They leave us with only Havertz as our striker since Nketiah is leaving. Baxon, you are spot on. You are spot on pretty much with everything you've just said there, because Martinelli, Trossard, left side, Jesus will deputise for Saka next season. There is a winger coming in, which will help the workload of the wingers anyway. But basically, Jesus will be the main man on the right when Saka, or if Saka needs a break or gets injured or whatever happens, Jesus is the chosen one. That doesn't mean we're not getting a winger, because we are getting a winger that can do multiple roles up front as well. So, yeah, I'm chill about the situation at the moment. I called Osimhen to PSG years ago. Wish people would catch up. I'll be honest, mate. I still don't know. I'll be honest, with how PSG have handled it. And I'll be honest, Osimhen's not that keen on PSG. He would if he had to. He does want the Premier League. And I honestly don't know. I honestly haven't got a clue. I wish I did, because I would then say it, because I don't. Right now, I don't know. I wish we could be awarded the so ESR gets a major honour with us. Look, I know it's a sad time, but it is what it is, and yeah, I wish him all the best once it gets announced that he's gone to Fulham. Also, I need to talk about this. This has actually happened. There has been discussion as well. I don't think it will happen. I think it's going to Inter Miami, but it is one to watch out for. Is Sergio Roberto is a free agent, left Barcelona. Now, when I heard this, I was like, "Oh, this is Lichtsteiner all over. This is Lichtsteiner all over again." I would say this is definitely different to Lichtsteiner. Now, I wasn't that keen on Lichtsteiner ever coming touching anywhere near Arsenal Football Club. We were in a different place at that time as well. I do kind of like this in a strange way. I wouldn't totally rule it out. It kind of covers Ben White. Now, I don't think we can. I don't think we can rely on Tommy as much as we would like to, if I'm honest. So, if this was to happen, I wouldn't really knock it, to be honest. The amount of experience that lad has as well. He's 32. As Chris has just said, he's versatile. He is versatile. He can do the DM role as well. So basically, it's an inverted right back. So I have no issues with it. I'll be honest. If it's just a season, I personally, if it was me personally, I'd offer him a player coach role, because I think what he knows and what he's learned over the many years he's been playing is valuable to a young group of lads that we've basically got in our squad. So I think it'd be great. Personally, that's just me. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. He is a free agent, so this can happen in an instant. But as far as I'm aware, he's meant to be going to Inter Miami. Elliot Roberts has his fingers crossed for Nico. I don't see it happening. I'll be honest. I've mentioned it. I've never put it as a big headline because I don't think it will happen. I just don't see it happening personally. I think he wants Barcelona. And I think he'd wait a whole season just to get Barcelona as well. Gordon Link's coming back to us again. Makes no sense unless Salah leaves because Gakpo will be playing left wing and Bijot and Nunes at striker. Yeah. What I would say to you, Chris, is maybe look out for Jared Bowen as well. I think Jared Bowen will be great, personally, for Liverpool. Get that same game as season jersey far away from my club, says Temi. Okay. Roberto is so versatile, says Chris. PSG and Napoli have fallen out. No agreement between both clubs, and Lukaku coming in for Napoli. Eventually, the Osimhen price would be reduced, which I see Edu gunning for a late transfer bid. Definitely. Baxter, you know absolutely loads about this. I love this. PSG and Napoli have had a disagreement there. I think the PSG offer to Napoli was so low, it was actually insulting. And Napoli are not a team you want to upset ever. Some people call them a certain group. They are really difficult to negotiate with. So if you upset them, you got zero chance of going back to them. I don't see it happening. Personally, if it's to PSG, I just don't see it happening. Bowen is perfect for the style we play. His pressing is perfect. Hard work too. I love him. I absolutely love Jared. Right, let's move on. Other news for incomings. Not much, if I'm honest. Obviously, with certain players leaving, then there will start being talk. And this is what I want to talk about. Obviously, when one leaves, one will come in. When one leaves, one will come in. When one's coming in, we will get that finalized, all nice and little bow. Then we'll start the next one. So, yeah. Yes. Yeah, it begins with an M and ends in an A. It's got an F in it as well. And to be fair, I'm with them on that. I'll be honest. I'm with them. See, Luke doesn't hold back and just puts it in the chat. So everyone can see the word. I'm not going to put it up because I'll get in trouble. But everyone can see the word that Luke's used. That is it. So, yeah, it's not Nico, then who? There is someone else. Just be patient. Be patient, guys. There is someone else. Well, there's actually a few others, but there is a favourite in that group. And Nico, as far as, look, we had the discussions. We're keeping an eye on this situation. Obviously, if Nico decides that England's for him, but he has told his team, don't speak to anybody in the Premier League, which tells me, no, I don't want to go there. And I don't think, once he said that, I don't think Arteta will want him now, because he wants people to join our club. He doesn't want to go, oh, yeah, but you wanted Barcelona. I don't, he wants people that are passionate about the project, passionate about playing for our club. So, yeah, I'll quickly flash it up. That's what Luke said. With Calafiori sorted, Marino and Fabian Ruiz up for grasp. Osimhen late push would put us firmly favourites for the league this coming season. I think we are definitely up there at the moment. If we get this plan done in this window, now I do say with this window it's going to be very different to previous windows. We could go all the way to deadline day, which I personally will love because I love a deadline day signing. But yeah, I do think that we don't have a deadline for all our signings this season, which is unusual to say the least. So yeah, let's enjoy the window this season. I certainly am. Endo is, you think he's good, but turns out to be expected. I like that. Is the favourite substitute for Nico the mystery German? I will talk about the mystery German in September if it doesn't pan out. Now, weirdly, and this is what's quite funny, there's more than one German we've actually looked at. There is one specific German that is very close. It hasn't been fully pulled across the line yet. And I think it's all to do with whether or not someone leaves and someone stays. It's that kind of situation with the mystery German. But there is actually more than one German. I find it funny that people just talk about one German. We've actually looked. I think we've got like 3 Germans we've actually got on our shortlist. But there is one specific one. Yeah, and he's not talked about, to be fair, very much. So it's be interesting to see what happens. But if it doesn't pan out in this window, I will talk about it in September. So yeah, no worries. And it's definitely not him. I can rule him out. Okay, I can definitely rule that guy out. It's definitely not Julian Draxler. It's definitely not him. Right, let's move on to transfer outs. Nketiah is close to the exit door. He is actually close to the exit door now. Now, whether or not it's Marseille is another question. There is Brentford are coming in for him. There's a couple of other clubs that are interested in him. He will leave. He will leave. I think the fee will be around £30 million. I don't think it will get any higher than that. If it does, then we've done an amazing job at negotiating, if I'm honest. But Marseille are trying to push. I think they've just sold. Well, they're selling someone, aren't they? I think it's Sarr. Which gains them a bit more money, which hopefully might give us a little bit more money in the offer, because there is quite a big difference between what Marseille are offering us and what we want. So if they can push that fee up a little bit higher, maybe it will be Marseille. Eddie's very keen on going to Marseille, and I do kind of get it actually, because that is quite an exciting project to go to France as well. I hope he does go there, because I think he'll succeed. At Marseille, like I said, I've never said he's a bad player. He just doesn't suit our system at all, which it makes him look really bad. But he's not as bad as we all make him out to be. He just doesn't fit the system, and that can make you look really bad sometimes. I'm just delighted Smith would get to play regular football elsewhere, and with Nketiah and Nelson leaving, there would be room for adequate rotation, because the players on the bench would rightly compete with key players. 100%. There won't be a huge drop-off in quality and the type of player that is coming on, where they are going to suit the role that they're being asked to do. We're signing specific players that play in the specific style that we want them to, which is fantastic for me. So we are going to have a squad, I would say 16 to 18 players, where I will absolutely 100% rely on them. 100% rely on them. So I love that personally. So big up to you, Baxton. Mate, I'm loving your comments. Spot on. I've done a half Nelson. The reason I've put it as a half Nelson, because he's halfway out the door. He's halfway. This I kind of expect to be a loan with an obligation to buy. It is what it is. It doesn't really hurt us with what we need to do in the window. It does free up the space, which is the main thing. The main thing is we needed the space. So once Nelson goes, that frees up the space to bring in the winger. So I'm not got a big issue, because basically we'll get that money for next summer's window, which is perfect. And don't forget, PSR works on a 3-year cycle, and technically next season it's a whole new system anyway. So it's perfect for us. If we're definitely guaranteed all this money at the end of the season by selling our players, I'm delighted. So as much as I would love the money straight away, I have no issues with the loan with an obligation to buy. Ramsdale ready to leave? Yeah. He's definitely, his mind and his body and his soul has left the building pretty much. Unfortunately, he's still our player, because no one's that keen on buying him at the moment. This is again going to probably be a loan with an obligation to buy, due to the fact that Ramsdale's not even willing to fight to stay at the club now. He had the option to join us in the US and turned us down. So, yeah, for me, he's done. He's done with Arsenal, and he will also be replaced, which is already prepared, actually, for. So, even when he goes, we're prepared for this anyway. So, yeah. Space and wages out with Nelson gone, 100%. Obviously, the player that will be coming in will probably earn more wages, but it will be a lot better quality. No offense to Reece, because I do think there's some talent there, but it's a lot better talent that will be coming in. I want this Ramsdale situation sorted out as soon as possible, so the club can get a replacement in due time before the season start. Kill would be rightly be our third choice. It will be Bentley that will be our third choice because Hein will be going to on loan because he wants a whole season playing. Which, to be fair, I totally respect. He's the Estonian #1 goalkeeper and he's not playing football. So, yeah, he will be going out on loan. Bentley will be our third choice. And then we have a number 2 in already sorted, to be fair. That will be quite a quick announcement, quite a quick situation within like a few days, probably within a week. So, yeah, that will be all sorted anyway. Let's move on to the next one. Zinchenko heading to Germany, possible. With Bayern Munich, to be honest, they've got quite a lot of players that they will be leaving, and not a lot's happening. If I'm honest, it's a bit of a strange situation with a lot of clubs all over Europe. That's why I think this window, for once, is actually going to be busy up until deadline day. Normally, it kind of fades out at the end, and it's just normally the teams that are at the bottom of the league will start making signings and stuff like that. But this one is pretty much everybody involved. So yeah, Bayern Munich, I do believe will coming for him. I think Newcastle possibly could do as well. I think Matty, is it Matty or Sean? I think it's Sean Longstaff, isn't he? Sean Longstaff is meant to be leaving Newcastle. I think they want Zinchenko to go there. Again, I think it's a left back midfield role for Zinchenko at Newcastle. So that's another one to watch out for. So I do think he will leave. There is going to be space for him. We want another full defender anyway. Nketiah is another one to possibly look out for, possibly leaving. There's a lot of Italian clubs lining up for him. They're just not sure about the obligation to buy situation at the end of the season for him. So, other news for players going out, as I've already kind of mentioned all of it now, to be fair, with Thomas Partey possibly leaving, Nketiah and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Baxton saying here, Ramsdale mentality and his media outbursts has really deteriorated his suitors. I don't see any reasonable bid coming in unless a major injury happens to other clubs, which would force them bidding for him. Totally agree. Southampton were meant to be bringing something in because, what's his name? The Southampton goalkeeper, the Irish lad, Bazunu, I think his name is. Obviously, he's out till next year, so he would have been a good one to have as a loan with an obligation or an option to buy maybe with Southampton. I do think Ramsdale will go. I just don't know where. It just doesn't make sense. If you look at all the clubs, kind of, you don't see where he goes. Zinchenko needs to play in midfield for me. If he's playing at left back, then it's horrendous, isn't it? It is. I'm sorry, Zinny, but you are an awful left back. Ramsdale is weird one. Shocked, not gone already. He's mate. I'll be honest. He's not even back at Arsenal. He's still on holiday. So it's kind of. I can't believe some players are still on holiday. Who else? Who idea was on holiday still? Limormand. What is the big Spanish centre back? He's going to be signing for Atletico Madrid. He's still on holiday. A lot of them are still on holiday. It's 27th of July, and they're still on holiday. It's mad. I'm the happiest person seeing Calafiori deal over the line. I'm always upset when people picture Timber as left back, knowing fully well he functions well as a centre back or a right back. 100%. Timber is going to be a huge, important squad player next season. And it wouldn't surprise me if you actually see him possibly in midfield as well, because he can play in midfield very comfortably. Big up to Gumza. He got to final like Saka, so yeah, he deserves his holiday. Yeah, but I think a lot of people, Gums, on this one, it's like he didn't play. Now, I get it, but it's still kind of like he could have gave the green light to start some negotiations, which a lot of players have done, to be fair to him. Like I think his name's Lamormand or whatever his name. The big Spanish centre-back. I don't know how you say his name. He gave the green light to start negotiations whilst he's on holiday. Now, Rambo could have done the same here, and he didn't. So it kind of disappoints me a bit. Yeah, but he has to stay ready. Yeah, but yeah. Look, everyone knows how much I love him. and I do. I absolutely love him. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. Doesn't suit our system, so I get it. And I really do wish him a good luck wherever he goes, because I really will be sad to see him leave, because I do think he's a great, fantastic goalkeeper. He reminds me so much of David Seaman. It's crazy how much he reminds me of him, because of just the way he is and his persona and stuff. For people that have, like in my era, this is Highbury. You always had Seaman talking to the fans behind us, and I was always behind one of the goals. I was on in North Bank Highbury. But so you always had that relationship with Seaman, because you could always chat with him while he was doing stuff, because that's the type of person. And Ramsdale was very similar. He was trying to do that at the Emirates, and I love that about him, and I really do wish him well. Yeah, his agent should still be. Yeah, it done nothing though, and that's what's annoyed me. I have to be honest. Got you. Yeah, that one. I can't say for some reason it doesn't register in my brain. Normand. Is that how you say it? Normand? I don't know. The Spanish centre back. Sorry, I meant to stay at the Euros. So even though he's not playing mentally, yeah, I get what you're saying, but he could have gave the green light to start negotiations. It would have helped us as a club. But hey ho. From what I have seen, I would kept Nelson over Smith Rowe and Nketiah. We need to get rid of all four of them, to be fair. I'm going to put Ramsdale in that bracket. There is, look, the only one out of those three there that you've mentioned, and I will be very sad to see Smith Rowe, but Smith Rowe does not fit our system at all. Nelson is the only one that I've thought, you know what, he could do it. He could, but it's just not working out. He wants to leave now. It's not a case of we want to sell him. He also wants to leave. So, yeah. Big up to Baxter saying Saka is already in the USA. He is. Guess the coach restricted him from joining the team for more resting days. Ramsdale would have used this preseason to either challenge Rare's spot or put on performance that would increase his suitors. That just proves the mentality he's got. Totally agree, Baxton. Big up to Sports Mirage saying yes, G. Big up to, because obviously we're on G's Twitter here. Obviously, G is part of the Armory family, so big up to G for letting us use your Twitter. But yeah, G is all good. I think he's out with his family tonight, so yeah, big up to G. Nelson will do well. Another Premier League club, I think all three would. I 100% agree. I honestly do think they go to the right club, they'll all excel. I have no issues with this. I don't think any of them are poor. They just don't fit the system, apart from possibly Nelson. Nelson's the only doubt on me. Right, let's move on to the final part, and then we'll wrap the show up. Stan's words explained. Right, there was a interview done in the week. I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but Stan was interviewed regarding an NBA deal that was done where basically Denver Nuggets get like £2 billion or something like that. And in those words were, Arsenal are not an easy club to make money from. Now, I totally get it. I totally understand where he's coming from. You have to work. When you're an owner of a Premier League club, you have to work for the money. You do have to work for it. You can't just buy a club and like, you will do the work for me. It doesn't work like that. You have to work so hard as an owner when you own a Premier League club if you want to make a profit. Or sometimes just even break even. Obviously, you don't want to make a loss. You don't want to do that. So, yeah, I do get it. What I would say about what Stan said, look, it doesn't mean he's getting fed up with us, because he's not. It's Josh's product now. It's got nothing to do with Stan, really. Stan's the big man, but he's giving it all the powers pretty much to Josh now. And Josh is loving it. So I don't see in the next 5 years anything major happening. What I will possibly say is, if Tottenham get brought by a big owner, very possible, by the way, just so everyone's fully aware of this, and the Kroenkes don't feel that they're up to the challenge, because what they will not want to do is upset the fans by letting what we class as our arch rivals be bigger than us. And if the Kroenkes don't feel that they can do that and challenge that, then possibly they would consider other means of challenging Tottenham again. So it's something to bear in mind in the future. Not right now, but possibly in the future. Because what Josh will definitely not want, and he definitely won't want to see this in the fans, where the fans are being upset because Tottenham are a bigger club than us. Can't happen. Just it would be the worst possible outcome. So yeah, it's something not to worry about right now. And what they definitely won't allow to happen is that Tottenham become a bigger club than us. So if Tottenham were to be bought and they end up spending loads of money on big players that, you know, take them into Champions Leagues constantly, get into challenge and stuff, if Arsenal aren't up to that challenge, they will look at other ways of making sure Arsenal become the top dog again. So don't panic too much about it, because I know a lot of people are starting to panic with the words that Stan come out with, which I wish he hadn't come out with anything, to be fair. But hey, how I can't control what Stan says. Right, let's see what people have been saying. Why was that Christmassy? I don't know. Hang on. Has had 2 weeks off now. How much more time does he need? Some people are just big babies. Yeah. Luke, you put it perfectly in my eyes. Smith Rowe suits Fulham, especially if Pierre leaves and Nketiah. See him at Palace or Forest. Interesting. Nelson, I can see him at lots of Premier League clubs. 3 teams to watch out for the season: Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Everton. Could picture these 3 teams in top 12 come end of the season, with Palace pushing really high for European football. With the coach they've got, I totally agree. Ipswich, I think, are definitely a team that I think might surprise a few. They've got a very good coach again. Everton, they're doing some really good business, I'll be honest. And they've got a good manager again. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you, Baxon, totally. Yeah, really do. I'm glad Edwards and co took over transfers at Liverpool. I don't want it to be given to FSG, as I will admit they are stubborn. 100%, totally agree. They are the ones that put the final nail in the coffin for Bordeaux. I'll be honest, I won't ever forgive them for that. Do you see anything in this Julian Alvarez rumours? I've not heard anything about anything to do with Arsenal. Do I think Alvarez will leave? Yes, I do. I don't know where he's going to go, but I don't. There's no way he can come to us, not unless we're giving them a player, because City are not going to want to strengthen us, and they know how good Alvarez is, and Alvarez is just not happy with the playing time. So yeah, I'm not worried about us getting into the seasons because Edwards and his team are here. They're not made mistakes since being at Liverpool, especially Edwards. Big up to you, Chris. Big up to Terence Tibbs saying shalom, or shalom to you too, Terence. Hope everyone's doing well. Right, I will be back sometime in the week. I promise that. One more comment. Alvarez, I don't see him staying in the Premier League. I think it'd be mad for Man City to sell him to anyone in the Premier League, if I'm honest, because Alvarez is quality. It's a wrap for the day. Nice chatting with you. Hopefully we've got something big, huge to celebrate this season. Big up to you. Big up to you, Baxon. It's been brilliant talking to you. Really good meeting you. So big up to everyone that's been on as well. Really appreciate it. I will be back sometime in the week, I promise. I'm going to do 2 more shows this week for the news. So, yeah, I will be back. I have no doubt about that. For now, take care, everyone. I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye-bye.